Welcome back, everybody, to another deep dive. And today, we are going to explore the fascinating career of Bol Bol,
Bol Bol.
son of NBA legend
Yeah.
Manute Bol.
And you might know him for his impressive height and skill, but there's a lot more to his story than just what happens on the court.
Absolutely.
And what's fascinating about Bol Bol's story is that it's deeply intertwined with global events
Yeah.
and family legacy.
Absolutely. It's not just a basketball career. It's a story of resilience and adaptation.
So we'll be uncovering how his early life, shaped by his family's escape from Sudan during the Civil War, influenced his path. Then we'll delve into his high school years, where he navigated a complex journey across multiple states.
Really interesting.
And of course, we can't forget his recent decision regarding the South Sudan national team and the Olympics.
Yeah, that's a big one.
So much to unpack.
Yeah. Like rewind all the way back to the beginning. Bol Bol wasn't born in some basketball-crazy American town. He was born in Khartoum, Sudan in 1999.
Khartoum.
And not just any year. This was right in the middle of the Second Sudanese Civil War.
Wow.
So imagine that backdrop for a childhood.
Yeah.
His father, Manit, was this towering figure in the NBA.
Right.
But back in Sudan, he was accused of being an American spy because of his U.S. ties.
You know, that's something I didn't even really think about until I was researching for this episode. Like, I knew that they had to leave.
Right.
But I didn't realize that
There was that much political turmoil.
intrigue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The family was actually barred from leaving the country for a period of time.
It's hard to even imagine.
It's hard to grasp what that must have been like, right?
Yeah.
Think about young Bol Bol. Maybe just learning to dribble, shooting hoops with his dad. All with this intense political turmoil surrounding him, you know?
Talking about a pressure situation, right?
Right.
You got to make that shot or you're an American spy.
This early exposure to instability might have actually played a role in his later adaptability.
Oh, for sure.
Think about it.
Yeah.
He's constantly had to adjust to new environments and situations throughout his life,
His whole life.
starting from a very young age.
Yeah, and you see that even as his career unfolds, just constantly having to adapt to whatever the situation is.
Yeah. So the family finally manages to escape Sudan in 2001.
Okay.
But their journey doesn't end there. They face another hurdle, stranded in Cairo, Egypt for months because of visa issues.
So, you know, they get out of Sudan, they think, okay, we're going to America, we're going to be safe. And then it's like, oh, wait,
Right.
another hurdle.
Right, another roadblock.
It's amazing how resilient they were throughout all of this, you know?
You gotta be.
Just navigating these incredibly difficult circumstances.
And for a 2-year-old Bol Bol, it must have been a confusing and unsettling time.
Yeah, I mean, can you imagine just...
Not knowing where you're going or what's happening, right?
Yes, scary.
Finally, they arrive in Connecticut
Connecticut.
as political refugees.
Okay.
I mean, talk about a world away from Sudan.
Huge adjustment.
And here, his basketball journey begins, encouraged by his father,
Well, of course, right?
a towering 7'7" figure,
It's talked about
literally and
big
figuratively.
shoes to fill, right?
Right.
You can almost picture those early days. A young Bol Bol learning the fundamentals from an NBA legend.
It's not your average father-son basketball practice.
Not at all.
Definitely not your average pickup game.
No.
A few years later, the family relocates to Kansas City, settling in Olathe, Kansas,
Olathe, Kansas.
a city with a significant South Sudanese population.
Okay.
This is where Bol Bol's basketball talent really starts to blossom.
And blossom quickly, right? I mean, the world takes notice pretty quickly.
Yeah, I mean, get this.
Yeah.
He receives his first NCAA Division I offer in the 8th grade.
The 8th grade.
To put that into perspective, that's like getting a job offer before you even finish high school.
Yeah, it's like,
Unbelievable.
hey, you're pretty good at this. We're going to give you a scholarship in 4 years.
Yeah.
I mean, he must have been a phenomenal player even then.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
To be noticed that early.
yeah.
And his high school career is also pretty interesting.
Okay.
It spans across multiple states.
Wow.
He starts at Blue Valley Northwest High School in Kansas,
Blue Valley Northwest.
but he doesn't stay there long.
No.
He transfers to Bishop Miege High School, also in Kansas, midway through his freshman year.
Bishop Miege.
Now, because of transfer rules, these are regulations that dictate when a player can switch schools and be eligible to play right away.
Yeah.
He has to start on the junior varsity team.
Imagine.
Imagine a future NBA player on JV.
That's crazy.
But even there, his talent shines through. By his sophomore year, He's considered one of the top players in his class, even helping Bishop Meade win a state title.
So, I mean, even though he's on JV, it's like
He can't be held back.
yeah.
And the scholarship offers keep rolling in. Kansas, Oklahoma, all the big-name programs want him.
I bet.
But he decides to switch things up again, transferring to Mater Dei High School in California for his junior year.
So he's bouncing around.
Yeah, he's like, what's next?
Oh, it's the next challenge.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mater Dei is a powerhouse program known for producing some of the best basketball talent in the country.
Mater Dei, yeah, I've heard of them.
It seems like Bol Bol was constantly seeking out the toughest competition he could find.
You got to play against the best to be the best.
At Mater Dei, he averages 16.5 points, 8.6 rebounds, and nearly 3 blocks a game.
Wow.
Top college programs like Arizona, USC, Oregon, even Kentucky and UCLA are all vying for his attention.
All the big names.
He becomes one of the most sought-after recruits in the nation.
Yeah.
And what does he do?
What does he do?
He transfers again,
No way.
this time to Findlay Prep in Nevada
Okay.
for his senior year.
So, 3 high schools.
3 high schools, 3 states. I mean, this constant movement almost seems like a metaphor for his life.
It's true.
Always adapting to new environments.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a bold move, and it pays off.
It does.
He puts up impressive numbers at Findlay Prep, earning All-USA Boys basketball second-team honors.
All USA second team. That's impressive.
And finally, he makes his college decision, committing to play for the Oregon Ducks.
Oregon.
That's Coach Dana Altman's program,
Yeah.
known for developing NBA-caliber players.
Yeah.
So everyone's expecting big things from Bol Bol in college, but as we'll see, his path takes some unexpected turns.
Can't wait to see what happens next.
We'll be back after a quick break. Bol Bol steps onto the court at Oregon with a ton of hype surrounding him. Many saw him as a potential top pick in the upcoming NBA draft,
Ooh.
drawing comparisons to Kevin Durant due to his height and shooting ability.
It's interesting, there was definitely a buzz around him.
Right.
But there are also some analysts that were expressing concerns
Oh, really?
about, his long-term durability and his style of play. You have to remember, he's 7'3".
Yeah.
That's a lot of frame
That's a lot
to be moving around the court night after night.
Yeah, it's a delicate balance for players with his build.
Right.
They have the potential to dominate,
Yeah,
but the risk of injury is always looming.
for sure.
So how did his freshman year at Oregon actually play out?
Well, his debut was pretty impressive.
Oh, really?
He recorded a double-double with 12 points, 12 rebounds, and 3 blocks
Wow.
against Portland State.
Not a bad way to start your college career.
Not bad at all.
He definitely showed flashes of brilliance in those early games, even dropping a season-high 32 points
Wow.
and 11 rebounds against Texas Southern.
Texas Southern.
It seemed like he was living up to the hype,
He was on his way.
but then came the setback. In December 2018, just 9 games into the season,
9 games.
he injured his left foot,
Oh.
and that's a major blow.
Yeah, especially for a player of his size.
Right.
Foot injuries can be particularly worrisome for big men.
I mean, they're carrying so much weight
Yeah, exactly.
On the
You're to lift weights.
coming down on those ankles and feet.
And unfortunately, this injury sidelines him for the rest of the season.
So he's done.
It's a huge disappointment for Bol Bol and for Oregon fans.
Yeah, I bet.
Despite the limited playing time, he decides to declare for the NBA draft.
Oh,
I mean, that must have been a tough decision to make.
I'm sure it was.
He had shown so much potential. But the injury certainly raised red flags for NBA teams.
Right, because they're thinking, okay, is this going to be a recurring thing?
Right. Is this going to
Is he injury prone?
affect his career?
Yeah.
Do you think it ultimately affected his draft position?
Oh, there's no doubt about it.
Okay.
I mean, before the injury, he was projected to go as high as number 3 overall.
Number 3.
But with the uncertainty surrounding his health, his draft stock took a hit.
Okay. So where did he actually end up getting drafted?
Well, he falls all the way to the second round.
Oh, wow.
44th overall,
Yeah.
selected by the Miami Heat. The Heat?
But they immediately traded his rights to the Denver Nuggets.
Oh, wow. So he didn't even
He didn't even...
suit up for them.
Nope. He just got his hat, and then it was like, see you later.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Going from a potential top 3 pick to the middle of the second round,
Yeah.
that must have been a tough pill to swallow.
It definitely was, but
Yeah.
on the bright side,
Yeah.
he was still in the NBA.
Right.
And the Denver Nuggets have a great track record of developing young players.
Yeah, they do.
So maybe it ended up being a blessing in disguise.
Yeah, maybe he landed in a better spot for him.
Maybe.
So, tell me about his early years in the NBA.
Okay.
Did he make an immediate impact?
Not really.
Oh.
His first 2 seasons with the Nuggets were marked by limited playing time
Okay.
and, a few assignments to the G League,
Right.
which is the NBA's developmental league.
Right.
So, he's going back and forth,
Yeah.
up and down.
So it sounds like he struggled to find his footing.
Yeah, he just couldn't
Right.
quite crack the rotation.
Yeah, and maybe still dealing with the after effects of that foot injury.
That's certainly part of it.
Right.
Plus, he was on a team with established players.
Right.
So breaking into that rotation was tough.
Yeah, that's got to be challenging.
Yeah, you got to earn your minutes.
Right.
His most notable moment during those early years actually came in the 2020 NBA bubble.
The bubble.
Yeah.
That was such a unique
Such a strange time.
and strange time
For the NBA.
for everybody.
Yeah. The whole world was weird.
Yeah.
And it's actually where Bol got his first real taste of extended NBA action.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he even made his playoff debut, scoring a few points in a game against the Utah Jazz.
Okay.
So he's contributing
Yeah.
to a playoff team,
Right.
even in a limited role.
I mean, that has to be a confidence boost.
You would think so, right?
Yeah, you're playing
You're on a good team.
in the
We're
playoff.
in the playoffs.
You're getting minutes.
Yeah, things are looking up.
Right.
But the following season was a bit of a roller coaster for him.
Okay.
He scores a season-high 11 points in a game against the Houston Rockets.
Okay.
But then things take an unexpected turn.
What happened? Another injury?
Well, not exactly an injury on the court.
Okay.
He was traded to the Detroit Pistons
Oh, wow.
in January 2022,
Okay.
but the trade was voided because he failed his physical.
Oh, wow.
It turned out he needed surgery on his right foot.
Wow. So another foot surgery.
Another one.
It's almost as if his body was betraying his immense talent.
Right. All this potential, and then
Yeah.
these feet just can't hold up.
Yeah. It was
Yeah.
definitely a major setback, especially after he'd seemingly started to find his rhythm a bit.
Yeah, he was starting to get some minutes.
Right.
Show what he could do, and
Yeah.
then boom, surgery.
And he ended up getting traded again, this time to the Boston Celtics.
Okay.
But before he even played a game for them,
Oh, no.
he was on the move again.
Wait, traded twice in a matter of weeks without even playing a game.
Yeah.
That's wild.
That's like, I don't even know if you got a jersey yet and you're out of there.
Right, just bouncing around.
So where did he land this time?
He ended up with the Orlando Magic in February 2022.
Okay.
And it seemed like the Magic were willing to take a chance on him,
Okay.
hoping that, he could finally stay healthy
Right.
and reach his full potential.
So how did he do in Orlando?
Well,
Was he finally able to put it all together and have that breakout season everyone was waiting for?
his first season with the Magic was basically a wash
Okay.
because he was still recovering from that surgery.
Okay, makes sense.
But then in the 2022-23 season, she finally got a real opportunity to showcase his skills.
Okay, I'm really curious to hear how this unfolds.
Yeah.
Was Orlando the place where he was finally able to shine?
So he started 33 games for the Magic
Wow.
and showed significant progress.
Okay.
He averaged over 21 minutes a game,
Yeah.
putting up 9.1 points,
Okay.
5.8 rebounds, and over a block per game.
That's solid production.
It's not bad.
Yeah, it sounds like he was finally finding his place in the league.
Right. It seemed like things were finally clicking.
Yeah.
He even had a game where he scored a career-high 26 points
Wow.
against the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Okay.
But despite his improvement, the Magic made a surprising
Oh,
decision.
know what had happened.
They waived him
They waived him.
in July 2023.
That's unexpected.
Yeah.
He was finally starting to put it all together.
It seemed like it.
Why would they waive him?
It's a bit of a head scratcher.
Yeah.
Maybe they didn't see him fitting into their long-term plans.
Right.
Or perhaps they needed to open up a roster spot
Yeah.
for another player.
It's a business.
It is a business.
Yeah.
Whatever the reason, Bol found himself searching for a new team once again.
So who picked him up?
Whoa.
And did he finally find a place to settle down?
He signed with the Phoenix Suns in
Wow.
July 2023.
Wow. Talk about a team with championship aspirations.
For sure.
It must have been a whirlwind, going from a rebuilding team like the Magic
Yeah.
to a contender like the Suns.
Huge change of pace.
Right.
It's an interesting move,
Yeah.
The Suns are already stacked with talent, so it wasn't immediately clear how Bol Bol would fit into their plans.
Right.
But they must have seen something special in him.
Yeah, it seems like he's carved out a role for himself coming off the bench.
He has.
You know, he's not a starter,
Huh.
but he's getting consistent minutes
Right.
and showing what he can do.
He's making the most of his opportunities.
Yeah, he's had some impressive games this season, even putting up season highs of 11 points and 9 rebounds
Wow.
against the Portland Trail Blazers back in January.
That's great.
It's great to see him contributing to a winning team.
Absolutely.
But remember earlier we mentioned his international basketball prospects?
Oh, yeah.
This is where things get really interesting.
Right, because he's represented the United States at the youth level.
Right.
But he was born in South Sudan,
Right.
and his father was a prominent figure there. Then in June 2024, he was pre-selected for the South Sudan national team for the 2024 Summer Olympics.
Wow.
So that must have been a tough decision for him.
I mean, representing your birth country on the world's biggest stage is a huge honor.
Absolutely.
And imagine the impact he could have had, especially given his father's legacy in South Sudan.
It would have been amazing to see.
Right, it would have been an incredible story.
Yeah.
But ultimately, he decided to withdraw from the South Sudan team
Okay.
for personal reasons.
Yeah, it's a decision that only he can make.
Right.
And, it adds another layer of complexity to
Yeah.
his already fascinating journey.
It really does.
It really makes you think about the weight of expectation
Yeah.
and the different paths he could have taken.
Let's take a step back for a second and look at how much he's already accomplished.
Okay.
I mean, born in Sudan amidst a civil war,
Yeah.
his family accused of being American spies. They're forced to flee the country
Wow.
and then face another obstacle, being stranded in Egypt.
It's crazy.
It sounds like something out of a movie.
It really does.
Then he comes to the U.S., gets his first Division I offer in the 8th grade, plays high school basketball in 3 different states,
3 different states.
goes to Oregon with sky-high expectations, suffers a devastating injury, falls in the draft, and has this roller coaster NBA career with trades, injuries, and moments of brilliance.
Yeah, it's been a wild ride.
It's been anything but predictable.
Not at all.
And through it all, he's shown remarkable resilience and adaptability.
He has.
Think about it. He's had to adjust to new countries, new schools, new teams, new roles, all while carrying the weight of his family name
Yeah.
and the expectations that come with it.
Yeah, that's a lot to handle.
It's a testament to his strength of character and his dedication to the game.
For sure.
And he's still only 25 years old.
It's crazy to think
It
about.
makes you wonder what the future holds for him.
What's the next chapter?
Right.
I'm excited to see.
Can he stay healthy and finally reach his full potential in the NBA? Will he reconsider playing for South Sudan on the international stage?
It's all up in the air.
There are so many possibilities.
It's true.
It's been an incredible journey so far.
It has.
And I'm sure there are many more chapters yet to be written.
I can't wait to see how it all unfolds.
Well, folks, you've been listening to The Deep Dive, a podcast that takes you beyond the headlines and into the heart of the topic.
That's right.
We hope you've enjoyed this deep dive into the life and career of Bol Bol.
He's an amazing player with an amazing story.
It's a story that reminds us that talent and potential can take many forms, and that resilience in the face of adversity is a powerful force.
It really is inspiring.
We've seen how Bol Bol has navigated a truly unique path, overcoming challenges and adapting to new situations time and time again.
He's a true role model.
His journey is far from over, and we'll be watching eagerly to see what he accomplishes next.
Thank-
As always, we encourage you to continue exploring and learning, and we leave you with this. What do you think Bol's legacy will ultimately be?
That's a great question.
Will he be remembered as a player who defied the odds and reached his full potential? Or will his career be defined by the what-ifs and the paths not taken? Only time will tell.
I guess we'll have to wait and see.
Until next time, keep diving deep.